Welcome to the Lever Trades podcast, where we take a deep dive into both foundation and advanced educational trading concepts. This video is not intended to provide investment advice. All content and opinions shared are for informational and educational purposes only. Trade at your own risk.
All right, so you want to talk crypto and blockchain, huh? Everybody's got crypto fever these days, but you're smart enough to know there's more to it than just the hype. You want to know how it all connects back to your portfolio? And honestly, so do we. We're diving into your request head first, all about crypto and the stock market. And let me tell you, even I was surprised by some of the stuff we found.
Yeah, it's subtle, but there's a definite connection. People tend to think about crypto as this separate thing, right?
Yeah.
But the tech behind it, that blockchain everyone's talking about, it's already worming its way into the stock market, heck, even global finance as a whole.
Which is actually the perfect place to start, I think, because you sent over this document and it lays out the whole blockchain thing really well. But I gotta admit, even I hear that word and it still feels kind of vague. So like, in plain English, what is blockchain and why should we even care?
Imagine a digital ledger, right?
Mm-hmm.
But instead of one bank or company controlling it, it's copied across a huge network of computers. That's blockchain in a nutshell. And because of that, it's decentralized, crazy secure, and every transaction is like out in the open for everyone to see.
Okay, I'm following you. But here's where I get tripped up. So what? I mean, it's not like digital record keeping is new, right? What makes blockchain so special?
It's that, so what, that's actually really cool. Imagine being able to track your food from the farm to your plate with total transparency. Or medical records that are totally secure, easy to share between doctors if you say it's okay, and basically impossible to mess with. That's the potential here.
Okay, so this is about way more than Bitcoin. Got it. But this document isn't just about some far-off future, is it? It sounds like this blockchain thing is already messing with the stock market today.
Oh, absolutely. One of the biggest takeaways is that how investors feel about crypto. It's spilling over into the stock market more and more. Remember when Tesla bought a bunch of Bitcoin a while back? Their stock went through the roof.
Wow.
And not just because of the investment itself, but because it was like this signal flare. Changed how people saw Tesla and crypto.
Like all of a sudden, a tech company's value isn't just about how much money they're making, but how much of a stake they have in this whole new thing. Wild, right?
It's crazy, and that's probably just the beginning.
Wow.
This document, it talks about how big-time investors are starting to test the crypto waters, and that has this ripple effect. When those guys make a move, everyone sits up and takes notice. It's like this crazy dance between the old way and the new way, and it's playing out right now in your portfolio.
Okay, so we've got digital currencies, this tech that's shaking things up. But what about actually investing in all of this? I'm guessing it's more complicated than just like buying some Bitcoin.
Oh, way more nuanced than that.
Yeah.
This document does a great job explaining the differences between Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is super important for anyone thinking of putting money in.
Yeah. Gotta admit, I always kind of lump those two together in my head. Crypto is crypto, right?
Not really. Think of Bitcoin like digital gold. It's scarce. People see it as protection against inflation and its value, mostly driven by how much people believe in it. Ethereum, though, Ethereum's different. It's all about what you can do with it, building stuff.
That's where they get into decentralized applications, right? Those dApps. So like, comparing to gold, is it more like investing in the company that makes shovels for gold miners or something?
You got it. With Ethereum, developers can build right on top of it and those applications. Financial tools, ways to manage supply chains, even digital art and collectibles. The sky's the limit.
Wait, digital art. Hold on, you lost me.
Remember NFTs? Non-fungible tokens. That whole craze.
Yeah.
Built mostly on Ethereum, but goes way beyond that. Imagine owning a tiny piece of real estate, stocks, you name it. But instead of paper, it's a token on the blockchain. Makes investing way easier for everyone.
Okay, so Bitcoin and Ethereum, two sides of the same coin, kinda, but totally different uses and ways to invest. But then this document threw me a curveball. Wall Street's going blockchain. What's that all about?
It's not just Wall Street diving into Bitcoin trading, though that's happening too. This is different. These big financial institutions, they're starting to see how blockchain can make their own systems better.
So less about making a quick buck, more about what? Making things run smoother.
Exactly. Perfect example, right in the document. The Australian Stock Exchange, the ASX, they're switching their entire trading system over to blockchain.
Whoa, seriously? That's a huge deal. What's the advantage?
Speed, security, lower costs. Transactions happen faster, less risk, fewer fees. And when a huge institution like the ASX makes that move, it means blockchain is being taken seriously by the big dogs.
Okay, my mind is officially blown. That escalated quickly. We went from 0 to 60 in like 5 minutes. We covered blockchain basics, how it affects the stock market, even Wall Street jumping on board. And we haven't even gotten to the really fun part yet, how you can actually invest in all this. But we'll dive into that right after this. All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We know blockchain is a big deal. We get that it's changing how we think about trust, how things are run. But let's be real for a sec. How does an everyday person like me actually get in on this?
The million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
And this document you send, it lays out all the different ways to invest, good and bad sides to each one.
Okay, so probably the most obvious one is just buying some cryptocurrency. Bitcoin, Ethereum, all those games you hear everywhere. But is that really the smartest move or?
It's tricky. Remember how we were talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum being different? Same with how you invest in them. Bitcoin, it's often seen as like a safety net, protection against inflation, kind of like digital gold,
Yeah.
right?
And this document really drove that home. Bitcoin's limited, right? Only 21 million will ever exist. Makes them more valuable because they're scarce.
Exactly. But Ethereum, whole different ballgame. It's not just about holding the coins, it's about what that tech can do, all those applications we talked about. Like investing in Ethereum is like investing in the internet back when it was brand new. You're betting on the potential, not just the price right now.
So more about how much it could grow, not just the price of, what is it, Ether.
Exactly. And that's where things get even more interesting. Remember those tokenized stocks we mentioned?
Yeah, owning a piece of a company, but on the blockchain. Still sounds pretty sci-fi to me, honestly.
It's all about making things smoother and easier. Imagine buying Apple or Google stock, but instead of going through a broker and waiting forever, everything happens instantly, securely on the blockchain.
Like those old stock certificates got a digital makeover or something. And this document said that could make investing easier for regular people, right? Folks who find the stock market kind of scary.
Exactly. Could open things up for a whole new group of investors. And it's not just stocks either. We could be talking about real estate, art, anything you can think of. Turning it into tokens makes it easier to buy and sell.
Okay, so direct crypto, tokenized stuff.
Mm.
Anything else we got to keep an eye on?
Don't forget ETFs. Those are exchange-traded funds, but focused on companies in the blockchain world.
So instead of trying to guess which crypto will blow up, you invest in a bunch of companies working on this stuff.
Exactly. It's like diversifying your risk, dipping
Yeah.
your toes into the blockchain pool without having to be an expert yourself.
Makes sense to me. Sounds like we're talking about a whole new way to think about investing, huh? Not just stocks and bonds anymore. You got to understand this new asset class, how it could change everything.
And even that is just the tip of the iceberg. What we've talked about, that's today. But what about tomorrow?
That's what I'm saying. This has been mind-blowing, but it still feels like we're just scratching the surface. What does this mean for the future of money, for our everyday lives? This is huge.
It is huge. And that's where this document really makes you think. So let's shift gears a bit, talk about the bigger picture, the long game with this tech, the stuff we're only just starting to see.
Okay, so we've talked about what blockchain is, how it's already shaking things up, but the thing I keep coming back to is, what's next?
Right. That's the big question, isn't it? We can see this tech changing things now,
Yeah.
but what happens when it's just normal?
Yeah.
Like the internet is now.
That's what blows my mind. This document does a great job with where we are now, but 10, 20 years out, it's like trying to imagine a different dimension or something.
You got to connect the dots, right?
Mhm.
We talked about blockchain making supply chains transparent, medical records more secure, even how we own things.
Hmm.
What happens when all that starts working together?
You're talking about like a whole system built on trust, where everything's connected.
Exactly. Imagine knowing where your food came from with total certainty, or buying something expensive and knowing it's real, no fakes. Even managing all your money on the blockchain, no middleman needed. That's the kind of change we're talking about.
And it goes way beyond just convenience, right?
Yeah.
That changes how companies act, how our data is used, even what the government's role is.
Oh, absolutely. This could give regular people more power than ever before.
Yeah.
Control over their information, what they own, how they interact with big institutions.
Huh.
It's huge.
Okay, now my head's really spinning. But let's bring it back down to earth for a sec. Someone's listening to this, right? They're interested. But what does it mean for their own money, their future?
That's where it gets empowering. This document, it gives you the knowledge to make smart choices. It's not about blindly throwing money at Bitcoin. It's about understanding the bigger picture and making sure you benefit from it.
So less about predicting the next big thing, more about riding the wave, whatever direction it goes.
Exactly. This isn't just some tech fad. This is a fundamental change, and some people, they're going to get left behind. But if you're paying attention, learning, adapting, that's how you come out ahead.
That's a great point. And it feels like, even with everything we've talked about, we're still just getting started.
Oh yeah, this document is a great start, but the real learning, it's what you do after. Take this information and run with it.
There you go, folks. Your homework assignment. Don't just listen to us. Let this spark your curiosity. What gets you excited? What questions do you have? Keep digging, and most importantly, stay curious.
Because the future's being built right now, one block at a time. And the more you understand it, the better prepared you'll be for everything that's coming.
And on that note, we're wrapping up our deep dive into crypto, blockchain, the future of, well, everything, really. We had a blast. Hope you did too. Until next time, keep learning and keep those questions coming.